So today's video is my film review, quarantine style. I am reviewing Jumanji: The Next Level. I had not seen it in cinemas and it recently got released on Blu-ray, obviously, and DVD and stuff. So sort of in celebration of that and being able to view this at home, I'm going to review the film. I do have all of my numbers and stuff here in front of me, so let's dive into this. Now, if you haven't seen one of my film reviews before, I take the Rotten Tomatoes, MetaCritic and IMDb scores, both the critical and the audience scores, add them together, get an average, and it's that average that I measure my score against. So to use the average as like a measuring post, I guess. And then I take the film itself and I split it into 10 different segments, giving each a score out of 10 for a total out of 100. And then this way, if one thing was particularly stronger than another, it still gets its good strong rating, while whatever it was that I feel like the film down gets a poorer score. Now, those 10 segments are script, casting, the acting and directing, so any of the choices the actors made for their characters, any of the choices the director made as far as how to direct the action. That's one. The cinematography and the editing, so how these shots are framed, how they're edited together to make you feel like you're part of the chase, or to make you understand how awkward a particular situation is, or how isolated somebody feels, or whatever it is. That's one. We've got the set design and the location. Now, set design can be either a physical set or one made in post-production through CGI, but it's basically how does the world around the characters look? Does it feel like it's a world that they should exist in, or could exist in, etc., etc. We've then got we've then got the soundtrack, so any of the backing music, any of the songs that they use in the film, that sort of thing. Special and visual effects, so any particularly like any particular effects that they had to use to tell a story that they were telling and make it believable. The costuming and the makeup, and then its accuracy and originality from a source material. This one we're going for originality, since it's it does say in the credits that it's based upon a book, but I'm pretty sure that book was what was adapted into the 1994 film with Robin Williams. I think it was 94, either 94 or 95, somewhere in there. But that would be for that film. So this is after it. So we're going with originality as far as like expanding the concept. And then the last one is the marketing. Now, for this one, I did go back and rewatch. I went onto YouTube and there was one there that said official trailer and there was one that said final trailer, and I watched both of those, and from that you gave the score for marketing. So this hasn't taken into account any posters or whatever that would have been up at the time to advertise for this. It's purely and simply just those two trailers. Alright, let's get into it. So, Jumanji: The Next Level. The Rotten Tomatoes critical score was 71%. I'm gonna put this up somewhere where it's a little bit more accessible. The audience score for Rotten Tomatoes was 87% and was actually, of all 5 scores that I've got here, the highest one. MetaCritic score gave it a 58, which is the lowest score. Their users ranked it a 64%, and then IMDb gave it a 6.7, which if we remove the decimal point and chuck a percentage sign in after there, since they're rating it out of 10, we get 67%. Now that gives us an average of, and everybody giggle with me, 69 is the average total. Alright, so my scores. The script and like the storyline, that sort of thing, I give an 8 to. It definitely, as far as like the story is concerned, takes on a similar thing to the first one, of like this rebooted sequel series sort of has. It continues the whole thing by having a gem that you've got to go towards. It does feel very video gamey. I did like the bit where they're like reading the letter and then it cuts into a cutscene, and all of the people in the characters, like in the avatars, actually recognize that it's a cutscene. It's not just some other scene in the movie to help take you and separate some of the action. It is actually sort of a part of the game, so to speak. But at the same time, being able to go and explore new locations and help make Jumanji feel like more of an open world concept game was kind of cool. So being able to explore not just the jungle where they start, but also like the desert and the mountains. It's gonna be, it was pretty cool. So I gave that an 8. The casting has so many amazing actors in it that I really couldn't give it anything less than a 9. You've got Danny DeVito and you've got Danny Glover, who, if that name sounds familiar to you, he was in the Lethal Weapon films. I did actually look it up, and he's not related to Donald Glover. I was purely curious on that account. But he's from the Lethal Weapon films. Then obviously you've got the main 5 characters from the first one, with The Rock, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, and Jack Black, and also Nick Jonas. And then we've also got a villain in this one, which I thought was really cool. I don't think the other one, from memory, had like a main antagonist that you had to like beat. It was just sort of a survive the jungle sort of thing. This one actually had a villain, which I thought was cool, played by the Hound, Rory McCann. And then we also had a new player character in Ming Fleetfoot, I think her name is, played by Awkwafina. And we also had I can't remember the actress's name, but she did originally play Aunt Nora in the original Jumanji film, and she comes back to reprise her role as Nora, the woman running the restaurant, Nora's. So that was really cool to see. But yeah, like I said, a lot of really great actors. I did also recognize the guy who announces Rory McCann's villain, sort of in the fortress as being the guy that plays Kripke from Big Bang Theory, so that was kind of cool. Yeah, just a lot of really big names and some amazing actors, so the casting alone gets a 9. The acting and the directing, however, also gets a 9. Being able to see, to begin with, The Rock and Kevin Hart playing Danny DeVito and Danny Glover, and then eventually it's Awkwafina playing Danny DeVito, and just the way that they're able to put their own characters into their skins, essentially. If we're looking at like video gaming terms, it's basically just like swapping controllers around and how you would use their particular play style. I thought that was kind of cool. Obviously, very, very fun comedic use of the fact that they're just avatars, but also really allowing the actors to sort of flex their acting chops. Was really cool to see. The cinematography and the editing I've given an 8/2. There were I did happen to watch the behind the scenes, so I don't know, I think that may have influenced this this score, but it wouldn't have influenced it by much. Basically it just sort of showed me how they did things like the ostrich chase scene, and yeah, like those sorts of things. And once you know how some of those shots are made, if you're looking closely enough, you can tell that that like the background was put in post-production. It's like a shade or two off, or like the horizon doesn't feel as like sharp as the cameras are capturing it, or something. And yeah, it's noticeable if you're looking for it, is all I'm saying. But overall, the way they framed their shots and the way they edited them together was very good. Set design and location. Now this is why I specified that some sets can be CGI. Again, a behind the scenes thing. The scene for like the fruit tree was filmed on a soundstage, so the whole little like courtyard that it's in is CG. Obviously including the water, and we will get to that when we get to the visual effects. But the fact that someone had to design that courtyard sitting in a chair sort of thing, yeah, it's well beyond my my skill set, and I do have a lot of respect for people that are able to do that. And so I think for that reason I gave this one an 8, purely because it looks like it would be a difficult thing to get together, especially when you've got like lights and stuff that would be shifting. You've also got to sort of render it around actors actually doing their acting in it. Yeah, if it was they'd gone out and just found, say, a temple, and they were just filming near the temple, and that was their location, then that's, you know, a different thing. But yeah, the soundtrack I gave a 7/2. You can go onto Spotify and find the original soundtrack. You can also go onto Spotify and find a playlist of all the songs that were in it. And yeah, sort of the main song I can remember is the same song that I had from the first one, so I felt like this was not as amazing as it could have been for the film. So special and visual effects, gave an 8 to. Obviously, as I mentioned before, the water and the way it shifts and glows and stuff. The fact that they would have then had to render that shifting light up onto the walls in that set, but also making the water, when they come up to like the big pond of it, making it shift in the same way. Obviously the visual effects also applies to them going into and out of the game. It includes the ostriches, the camels, the hippo, the snake, pretty much any of the mandrills. That entire sequence where they're on the bridges was filmed in a soundstage. So all those sorts of things, and for the most part, it's very believable. So special and visual effects gets an 8. Costuming and makeup, a 7. The characters look like, an adventurer, a cartographer, a zoologist, that sort of thing. They have sort of, with Karen Gillan's character, sort of kept the female armor being smaller than the male's armor. She definitely has sort of a Lara Croft sort of vibe with like the short shorts and the crop top. And then Ming having like the full trench coat, so she has all these pockets to put stuff in because she's a thief. It makes a lot of sense. But other than sort of that believability factor, there's nothing super special about them. When they get warmer clothes, for like going into the fortress and up into the mountains and stuff, they still sort of keep that very generic look, and again, there's nothing super special about them. I don't think Ming even gets any additional costume. It's just sort of the one. So I do think there's some more they could have done there. So for that reason it gets a 7. Accuracy and originality gets an 8. Again, like I said, it's got to sort of follow on from Welcome to the Jungle, which was a reboot sequel to the original one where it was a board game. So keeping that in mind and bringing back characters from the original one sort of helped in its accuracy and feeling like it's part of that world, and sort of like reconnecting them, but at the same time being able to go out and pretty much write this completely new adventure for those characters gives it sort of some originality scores, and so it's for that reason that I sort of broke it down to like a 5-5, and they were sort of came up equal at 4 each, so we get an 8 for that one. And then the marketing, like I said, the 2 trailers that I watched, they're pretty generic, but they do get the hype at just sort of like the right level for what the film is. I think if they'd overhyped it, I would have lowered the score, because they would have like set an expectation that wasn't met, and therefore the film would have been let down by having these expectations when it's here, sort of thing. But they sort of like bring you up enough that you're like, yeah, okay, this movie, looks pretty good, and then you watch it and it's like a notch or two above, nothing super incredible sort of past what the trailers are. But yeah, as far as that's concerned, a 7. Now if you've been adding this up on like along your way, you will have come to the conclusion that I have given this film in total, once we add all of those things up, a 79%, which puts me 10 points above that average total that I was talking about earlier. So yeah, my ear is itchy or something, I don't know. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see more videos from me and be notified when I upload new ones. I will leave a link to the critic scores down below. We'll also leave my little breakdown and stuff below as well. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think any of the critic scores, audience scores, or even the average score sort of sits about where you'd rate it, or do you agree with me? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until next time, guys, keep your heads screwed on.